What's up guys, Mike here from Swood and Mike G. Welcome back to the second episode in the Becoming a Pro series. In case you missed the first one, it was all about journaling. Very fantastic video, if I must say so myself. I'm going to go ahead and link it in the description down below. Check it out. What the series is, for those newcomers to the channel who might not have seen my videos before, is a series that documents my journey from slightly above average to absolutely top tier status. Potentially the next spring CCGS champion, I guess we'll find out. But the whole point of this documentation is to help you guys learn what I did to get to that point and to help you guys get there yourselves. So I guess you could say I'm here, my purpose in life is, I already know I'm going to get a ton of hate for that, to help you guys out and up your game. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about the value of repetition. So what does that mean? What do I mean by the value of repetition? Because that seems like a very straightforward concept. By the way, let me just air and play TV. Why not? We're just going to throw some games in the background. Just you can watch them if you want. You don't have to. You can instead just choose to listen to my gorgeous voice. Maybe you can do something else, but I highly recommend paying attention. So the value in repetition is understanding mechanical gameplay, understanding the fundamentals of a meta, and being able to take advantage of that. What do I mean by this? So, let's say you're picking up an Expo deck for the first time, you're playing against a very popular Zappa deck, or really anything running Goblin Hunt. Are you going to know what to do every single time they do a card? Probably not, so you're going to have to make a ton of decisions on your own. So, let's say they play their Goblin Hunt, kind of like what Aaron, the Play TV, is doing right now. Let's say Victory was a Expo player. Would he do an offensive Expo same lane, opposite lane, defensive Expo, try to snipe out the hut, or would he just chill with playing a card in the back? I don't know, guys. You might not know either. That's the kind of thing you need to learn how to do. And when you take the time to understand all those small interactions that you have to make in a game, it frees up your mental energy to do a whole lot more. What do I mean by this? Okay, so let's say you're playing a game. You're both great players, phenomenally, playing for $10,000. This is World Finals. I don't know, something absolutely crazy, right? Player A understands everything about the meta. He's put in hundreds and hundreds of hours of practice. He understands all the fundamentals, all the gameplay, all the mechanics. Player B is a very talented player, but spends a whole lot less time practicing, maybe 10 hours a week, maybe, right? Who do you think is going to do better? Inherently, obviously, you're going to say player A, the one who spends all that time understanding the fundamentals of the game. Why? So, in my opinion, it has to do with the fact he understands every single decision he has to make. So he's not playing the decision game. He already knows what he's doing. He's just a wait for what his opponent does and win. Now, how do you get from just understanding what they're doing to winning? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. For one, you're able to count elixir way easier. When you don't have to focus on, making actual decisions in your game, it gives your mind a lot more room to play around with. So you can go ahead, count card order, count elixir, keep track of all their cards, all your own, and try to figure out the best way to take advantage of your own cards to get the most elixir out of every single troop you deploy, the best placements, the best everything. You're able to predict what they're going to do each and every time because you understand what you want to do each and every single time. That gives you an absolutely critical advantage. A lot of pro players will just kind of know if they're up or down on elixir. Most actually don't physically count elixir. That's a pro tip for you guys. Most just don't. They just understand that they've seen this interaction a million times, and out of those 1,000,001 times they've seen the interaction, well, they always know the other player's down because they overcommitted, or they undercommitted, or they committed properly, in which case you're probably relatively even. These are all things pro players just kind of inherently know, and that's from just repeating these interactions hundreds of times and understanding the fundamentals behind how everything works. It's not just, okay, you play Fly Machine, that's 4 elixir, you played Skeleton Barrel, that's 3 elixir, I played this, which is 2 elixir, I played this, which is 5 elixir, that evens out. That's not how they do it. Or at least most of them. Some actually do, and it's more like blackjack counting, but that's a video for another time. Also, learning from the pros is another video that I will be probably dropping pretty soon because it's very, very important to understand what it means to learn from a pro player. But that's not today's video topic. So let's talk about why this is so important and what allows you to do this. Well, muscle memory. Muscle memory, in my opinion, is one of the least and most underrated tools available to players. Oh wow, this is a really good game. Let's watch this. So, muscle memory allows you, is the ability to understand how to do something fundamentally so you don't have to actually physically do it. So committing the ability to count elixir, to count card order, understanding all mechanical placements, that gives all the committed to muscle memory, and this is really important because it frees up your mind to do a whole lot more in the match, and it becomes, becomes significantly easier to focus and never make mistakes. Well, minimize mistakes. Everyone's going to make a mistake at some point, no matter how good or how talented. It's just kind of one of, it's a part of the game. Sorry, that burp really took me for a loop there. So how do you get from point A to point B? How do you get from the point where you understand nothing or minimal to understanding absolutely everything? Well, this is what this video is here to show you guys. And we're going to break this down into a few bullet points. So if you want to look right below my face, you'll see that the message has changed. It's no longer follow me on Facebook, you can watch my games live, follow me on Twitter, blah blah blah. Now it's actual key points. These are the things you guys need to do at home to go from point A, which is player who knows some stuff about the game and is relatively competent, to player who is at the top of their game, the player who knows about every and each interaction. So my first tip for you guys, focus on a singular deck. Now this doesn't make a lot of sense at all to most players. A lot of people will be like, well, why would I focus on one deck? I can't become a pro player like that. I go into a competition, I'm only good with one deck, but I'm really good with it. I'm still going to get counterdecked and get bounced out. I'm not going to win anything. That's fine. That's not your goal. Your goal is not to win. Keep that in mind. I re-emphasized this point in the first video. The goal is never to win. Until you get to leagues where there's big money on the line and you're playing those important money matches, your goal should be to learn. And when you're actually playing for those big prizes, your goal isn't to learn anymore, it's to win. So you want to use your practice games, the games that don't matter, to kind of power you through that journey so that when you're playing those super important matches, the life-changing games, you're not trying to learn. You're not trying to be like, oh, well, actually, I don't know what to do here. I assume it's this, but I'm not positive. No, none of that. You want to actually know what you're doing. You're like, okay, he does this, I do this. He does this, I do this. He does this, I do this. And you just play the matchup as you know how to play the matchup, and you win because of it. Who are we playing next? Let's watch LOL No Pound. Why not? He watches a lot of our videos. Let's give. Okay, well, I tried, guy. Sorry. Clicking on Baron. I'm really trying here. Okay, here we go. We got some nice 2 minutes of content to fill you guys' minds with. So, sticking with one deck, why is it important? Why does it help you learn? Because it kind of seems like it'd do the opposite, right? It seems like it'd do more harm than good. Well, I believe that learning one deck is critical to start off. Eventually, yes, you want to diversify. You want to learn how to play multiple decks. But in the beginning, one deck. Just focus all your energy on one deck. You want to try to have the least fringe cards as possible. So the most meta-relevant cards that you can throw in there, throw them in there. Just copy something meta, just do it. Reason being is because most meta interactions work off each other. So what does that mean? Because that probably wasn't coherent English, even for me, and I just said it out loud. Basically, you're taking cards that are seen in the meta and you're perfecting how to use them. So then, when you see them coming at you, you also understand how you would defend it or how you would look at it as the aggressor. So what this does, it allows you to just make better plays overall and slowly improve your understanding of the game. And eventually you'll master each and every one of those cards. And then when you pick up a new deck, you won't be learning 8 new cards. You won't be learning how to play a new deck. You'll be learning how to play the new cards in the deck, not the actual deck. That's the secret most of our players utilize when they pick up something new. That's why they can play new decks so well, because the support troops stay similar to cards they've already mastered how to use. So they're really just understanding how to learn to play the new card. That's why when a new card comes out, pros are always the very first to break the heck out of it, to find decks that are meta-defining and to just dominate with it. Because they already understand the rest of the meta. They understand how the cards interact with each other, and they're able to take advantage of that. They're like, okay, well, I know this. Okay, so let's test out how to interact, how this card interacts with X, Y, Z. And then once they learn how it interacts, they learn where it fits in the meta, and they're able to utilize that theory and take full advantage of that strategy. So that's also a bit different sometimes, how to deck build and how to understand things like that, but that's not, important. What is sticking to one deck. So that's the first key. Just stick to one deck. Play it a lot, journal, do whatever you can to learn, to improve, and to find yourself at that end game status with those 8 cards. Don't switch decks unless you absolutely need to for some strange reason. But your goal is not to win with these decks. It's literally just to understand how each and every card in that deck is played. And, well, that's kind of important if you want to become a pro player, guys. So, next thing we're going to talk about is millions of decisions per game can get very overwhelming. So, concept written down below. Key point 2. Don't think about it. It seems kind of like a strange thing to say. It seems like a strange thing to say, right? So what do I mean by don't think about it? You want to be able to hit a point where you don't have to think about the decisions you make. Or if you do, you have to put minimum effort into it. So the human mind can store 7 ± 2 bits of information at any one time. That's the hard cap limit. Doesn't matter how smart you are, how dumb you are. That's not a drastic difference, guys. That's not a big difference between geniuses and, well, the average Joe. The difference is effort. If you can put in the effort, even if you have that low 5 skill cap, you can still compete at the top level of this game if you do it correctly. Let's hold on, let's look up the next game. Obviously, it's significantly easier to do if you're not, but you know, we don't worry about stuff like that. Oh, Geo again. Hey, Geo. I definitely turned off notifications, so it's possible the game sound might get delayed. Sorry, guys, it happens sometimes. I don't catch everything, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about this in detail. How do you get from point A, where you need to understand how to not make decisions anymore, to actually getting there? One of the easiest ways you can do is just repeating similar matchups time and time again. And I'm not talking about just going out there playing a GC and just seeing what you run into. No, no, no. I'm talking about finding a group of people or person who will help you play the same matchup for an hour. Literally just grind that matchup. Every time you finish the game, journal it. Straight up for an hour. Just do that. One matchup, guys. Number one tip for today, pick a deck. Have your friend pick a deck. Try to keep the cards relatively similar. Then you play matches for an hour, journal every single match, and I promise by the end of it, you'll have a much greater understanding of how each and every one of those cards will work. Another cool trick, which I will elaborate more in a future video, is what I call learning from the pros. Watch what the pros do. You'll be able to better understand how to actually win games that way. You can just go ahead and watch Sus Cup, watch RPL Finals, any event with big names and big money on the line, go ahead and watch those matches. There's no reason not to. It's half an hour of your day, and you'll understand proper placements for things. You'll understand what cards are good right now. It's just a really great place to start. So, that brings me to lesson number 3, which is see what the pros do. Now, I kind of just broke into this a little bit, so at this point might be a little delayed, but the whole idea behind this is you're not going to know without playing thousands of hours every single perfect placement ever. You know who does, though? Pro players who spend their lives playing this game 40 hours a week, 4 hours a day, consistently just playing friendly battles, playing in competitions, playing against other top players. They're going to understand all the best plays. They're going to understand where to place their cards to get optimal value. That's how you're going to cheat the system, guys. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go home, or you're probably already home since you're watching this video, and you're going to watch pro players playing at their best. So, you know, whoever's winning, watch that person. Focus on how they choose to do their plays, where they place their troops, and how that impacts you. It seems pretty straightforward, but I feel like if more people took advantage of it, the community as a whole would just benefit from it entirely. There's no way you wouldn't. You'd understand how to actually play every single card. And once you see someone else do it, you just copy them. Pick a mentor, pick a teacher, copy. That's how you get results, guys. Wow, this is a really close game, by the way. That's how you win. That's how you go from point A to point B. That's how you become at a state where you don't have to play to make decisions. Sorry, I want to comment to this game real quick. 12 seconds left, this card's at 4-6, that's a single zap away. That's absolutely phenomenal. Dion might get the dub here, but I think Geo actually, hold on. Oh, wait. Okay. Wow, talk about a close game. I'm really glad this one was in there. Anyway, sorry. So, one of the reasons I chose Geo's replay right off the bat is both him and Dion are very good players. So if you want, you can just go ahead and mute me, just watch that gameplay a few times, and you'll get to see some optimal plays, some optimal interactions, and actually understand the thought process behind it. Think about why the pro player made that play. Think about what led them to making that mistake. And every time they take a significant amount of damage, rewind a little bit. Be like, yo, what happened here? Why did they take this damage? And trust me, guys, you will become significantly better for it. Combine all these tips I just gave you, these 3 key interactions, with journaling, and you guys are off to a great start. So in the next video, we'll see what I want to do next. I'm not entirely sure, but trust me, guys, whatever it'll be fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you gained some value out of it. Let me know what you think of this in the comment section down below. Get hyped for the series, guys. It is finally here, and we're going to be grinding them out. See you next time, YouTube. Peace.